Welcome back, gamers, to part 2 of the series. This is the only other part. It's just a two-parter, so don't worry, there's not going to be a part 3. We're letting this thing go down today. At the end of this video, only one kingdom's going to be still standing. We had a pretty intense battle last time, where everyone teamed up on the orcs over here on the edge. The elves got most of their land, the humans got a good chunk of it, and the dwarves got like the scraps around the edges. Like they got like just one mostly destroyed village, and then like, I don't even know, just this village up here. The orcs are still alive. Lots of them joined the elves and the humans, and some joined the dwarves, so they're kind of spread out. But there's also this random orc kingdom that formed in the middle here, which is now up to 100 population. So the orcs are not gone, and they're somehow in the very center of the map. So that could be something. Maybe they make a miraculous comeback. Maybe they get wiped out really quickly. We'll see what happens. As a refresher, I do have a mod installed that makes the storms more interesting. They actually like stay in one spot for a while. They last a lot longer sometimes. It makes the weather a little more dynamic. It's called World Engine 3. And you can look at it like this and see a bunch of words that I'm not gonna bother with. The elves are definitely in the lead with 2,400 population. The humans are about half of that with 1,250. And then the dwarves just broke 1,000. And then like I said, there's 100 population of orcs in the middle. Also, as a refresher, each kingdom has 4 traits attached to them that they all are born with. The elves have eagle-eyed, greedy, gluttonous, and ambitious, which seems to be working well for them. I think the eagle-eyed has been really helpful for them fighting because it gives them more range and more accuracy, more critical damage, which is great for all their bows. And then ambitious, I don't know, that's making them like be more aggressive and take over more villages, I guess, because they've been doing really well. And the humans have thief, strong, hard skin, and wise. So they're definitely tanky and good damage and stuff, but the thief part of it has definitely been doing some weird stuff. I'm not sure exactly how that affects it, but I imagine if every single person in the kingdom has a little bit of a stealing problem, things probably get pretty chaotic. I imagine all that crime definitely slows things down a little bit because they've definitely been not doing as well as I would have thought, but they're actually doing okay now. The dwarves are the most disappointing one here because their traits are all pretty good. They managed to get arcane reflexes, lustful, giant, and peaceful. Peaceful means they don't ever declare war, so they should be staying out of the wars, and the giant gives them a bunch more health. Lustful makes them populate faster, and then arcane reflexes means they cast more spells. And they have spells as part of their religion, but they just, I don't know, I guess not enough for it to matter. They didn't do very well in that war, so. Anyway, let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit and see where this goes. I also have the ages alternating between Age of Hope and Age of Tears, so there's kind of like a little bit of a weather function there too. Definitely makes it more interesting. I assume you watched part 1, so I won't talk about the map again, but it's a pretty cool map. I made it myself, and no one's made it to extreme amounts of Rock Island. I don't know why it's like this. This is absolutely absurd. But the rocks aren't free. You gotta get through the 1,000 goats who live here, apparently. Looks like the elves are about to break 3,000 population. That's pretty crazy. Humans are staying pretty roughly about half the elf population. They're not really catching up at all, and neither are the dwarves. I'm surprised there hasn't been a lot of expanding. Like, the humans are expanding territory so slowly. Like, they spawned here, and they haven't even taken over this land that's right next to them. It's like such good land. And it was protected because it had water all around it, but they took so long to take it that the elves showed up anyway. They just took a boat over here. And the dwarves. At the beginning of part 1, I said these guys are my favorite. They're my pick. I think they're gonna be strongest. If I had to bet money, I'd bet on them. I said all sorts of supportive things about them, and they've been very much the worst kingdom in this series. But you know what? They aren't that far behind the humans, so I guess they're not doing that bad. For some reason, this particular piece of land is just cursed to always be struck by lightning forever, apparently. It's been like this since the beginning of this world. The orcs started out here. They were just kind of cursed. This is still the orcs. They're just part of the elf kingdom now, and they're definitely cursed, man. It's just lightning strikes constantly. They're constantly just gathering buckets of water to put the fire out and getting struck by lightning. It's pretty tough to watch. It's just been hundreds of years of this. And now they're getting snowed on to the point that they're freezing to death, and the only thing that's gonna warm them up is being struck by lightning. It's pretty rough over here, man. Okay, it looks like the humans and elves are taking over more of this southwest area. They're gonna definitely meet in the middle, but hopefully the humans will get all this land down here, and the elves will just get this kind of edge here. But the humans need all the land they can get if they want to have a chance Oh, they're up to 2,000. Nice. Elves are up to 3,500, so the humans are catching up, and the dwarves are just falling further and further behind, man. You guys gotta make new villages. I spawned them so close to this, like, gold mine or just so much good stuff over here area. They started here. This is their first village, and they've gone the opposite direction. Like, if they could get all this ore, that would be a help, you know? Take this territory over. The humans are, like, working their way towards it. They understand the value of all these shiny rocks, but the dwarves, they don't know what they're doing, man. They really don't. The orcs have just made a second village. Look at that. Could they make the craziest comeback of all time? Could they pull it together? Oh, man. Okay, the elves just declared war on the dwarves, but it looks like the dwarves and humans are both allied, which is really good, actually, because that means they actually have a chance against the elves. Looks like they're pushing in already. The dwarves have a pretty big-sized army. There's a lot of them piling in here. If they could just take a couple villages, that'd be huge, actually. And then thankfully, the orcs are not allied with anyone, so they're not part of this war, although the elf army is currently on their lands, so hopefully the fighting doesn't happen here. The orcs, which are, you know, again, still here, just part of other kingdoms, had the pyromaniac trait and the psychopath trait, so they were throwing torches like crazy. So whichever land the orcs fight on, it burns. It burns a lot. It burns everything down. Okay, it looks like the dwarves have taken this big village up here. That's big. And population-wise, the elves are dropping, but the humans and dwarves haven't gone down that much. How are the humans doing? Are they actually fighting? Oh yeah, look at that. There's definitely some orcs in here fighting for the elves because this is just fire on everyone. It makes it a little hard to watch, and also if anyone actually does anything, like anyone with melee weapons gets involved, they basically just die no matter what. They kill a couple people and then they burn to death, so it's like, you know, what's the point? The elves having a lot of bows, and again, the eagle eye trait definitely sort of counteracts the fire, but they eventually start walking in the fire anyway. They just can't help themselves. They just walk right through it. There's zero fear in these people's eyes. They watch all their fellow soldiers walk into it and burn alive, and then they do the same thing. They walk right into it. They're actually not doing too bad. They're pushing up. It looks like they're taking back some dwarf villages up here. Is this a dwarf army? Oh my gosh. Guys, what are you for if not to fight in this specific war? Why are you here? They've all got stone weapons though, because they haven't mined any ore, despite there being ore everywhere. And look at that, the humans are getting it. The humans have moved into the ore mountain range. And it looks like some of the ore has already been mined. Dang, that's gonna be big for them. Oh my gosh, the elves have dropped so much. And again, the humans have only gone down by a couple hundred. Dwarves have only gone down by like 100 total. But the elves have gone down by like, what, almost 1,000, right? Like 900? How are they doing so bad at fighting? I thought they were better at fighting than that. Like, it seems like whenever I watch them, they're doing pretty well. But then again, the elves, like, their just default state is pretty bad. Like, their health and damage, I mean, this person might be extra weak. Yeah, they actually are. So, you know, this is not a great example, but they're just not good at fighting as is. So even though they have some positive traits, might not be enough to counteract how weak they are anyway. But they have the numbers. Well, they had the numbers, but now they're kind of falling behind. I'm okay with that though. I didn't want any one kingdom to just sweep and make it like a boring video. I'm down for some drama, you know? If the elves get teamed up on by the humans and dwarves, that's interesting. I'll take that. Everyone teamed up on the orcs and the elves took all their land, and now everyone's teaming up on the elves and trying to take their land. Ooh, and the humans are getting a lot of that land, or at least they're trying to. Not quite enough of them. I'd actually, you know what, guys? Don't take this village, the cursed one. Do you want to get snowed on and struck by lightning for the rest of your life? I don't think so. Just leave this, make this the last elf village. Leave this one for last. Again, the dwarves have these huge armies, but they're not really using them. It feels like the humans are doing most of the fighting, and the dwarves are getting kind of most of the land. Like, the humans have only lost land so far, and the dwarves have gained it. But I guess the elves are the ones that declared war on the dwarves, and the humans are just kind of helping out. But actually, yeah, no, that the humans should be getting more rewarded for this because they're the ones that didn't need to be here. Also, someone was launching fire. You saw that, right? Which one of you guys is launching fire? Is it you? It might be the dwarves that they're spell casting. Someone's shooting fireballs. Who is it? Is it you? Wait, it's this guy. How does he do that? Is it you? Or are you just on fire? What's the religion for the humans look like? They got lightning, they got thunderstorms, and they got bubble shields? Who's casting fire? I want to know. It must be a dwarf because of the spell casting. I keep seeing it, but I can't see who's doing it. Anyway, oh my gosh, here come the elves. This is why they're losing so much population. They're sending like 1,000 people at once, and they're all going right into the fire. It's their own fire for the most part, because they're the ones that have all the orcs. Dude, This is ridiculous looking. I can't even see, but I know that there's like 100 people burning in this fire right now. Oh man, this is brutal. Guys, put the fire out and then fight afterwards. Or just let the people with bows do it. Like if the elves gave everyone a bow and stopped using melee weapons, easy win. Because they got the extra range, they can avoid the fire. But I don't know, man. It ain't that easy, I guess. They're letting the dwarves and their fire magic just burn them all. And then the occasional orc throws a torch. Geez, the elves are down under 2,000 and they just fell behind the humans, just barely. And look at this, the dwarves, look at them. Their population has only gone down by 100 this entire war. They're the ones that are gonna come out on top of this. Everyone else is losing so much stuff, but they're like gaining land and like not losing soldiers. They're making the humans do everything for them. All this fighting over here, this is the elves versus the humans with like a couple dwarves. There's like one dwarf here. Actually, look, there's two. Okay, wait, hold on, here they come. Nice, just like 20 of them though. I also think it's pretty funny and fitting that the dwarves got giant, so they're actually just like normal size. They're actually bigger than normal size. They're definitely bigger than the humans, but the small people getting the giant trait, that's pretty funny. And there they go, they steal another village. This was actually originally a human village that was lost to the elves and the dwarves took it from them. So they kind of stole this from the humans a little bit. I feel like it's like a sly betrayal. Humans are still in the lead though. And look at that, the elves are now in last. Well, not including the orcs. They're just behind the dwarves now, just barely. What's happening over here? Dude, there's a dwarf village on Rock Island, but there's no dwarves in it. There's an elf child and an elf adult, and oh, there's one dwarf being chased by an elf. Look out, man. Whoa, what the? He got hit so hard he changed clothes. Dang. Well, there goes that. Maybe the elves will take this village and then they'll get Rock Island. That'd be pretty crazy. Yeah, the elves just have like infinite armies though. It seems like they're losing so many people, but it seems like they've always got another one. And you know what? As everyone else's populations go down, the orcs slowly go up. Not very quickly, but they were at like 100 earlier. They're at 260 now. That's something. They're not close to catching up, but I mean, the gap is shrinking. If everyone else's population keeps going down and theirs keeps going up, I mean, heck, they might eventually catch up. Oh man, the dwarves are about to take this huge village. They're taking all of this. Whoa, look at how many of them are here. They're finally actually the ones attacking. And oh, look at that. That guy's got an adamantine weapon. She's got an adamantine spear. Sheesh. Nice. All right. The humans are kind of here, but they're almost like playing support now. They're kind of just like behind the dwarves, cleaning up after them, getting the stragglers, but the dwarves are going in crazy. Look at this. This is like 300 dwarves or something. That's absurd. And you know, the elves have a lot of soldiers left too, but not as many. This is just like maybe like 100, maybe less. The dwarves also just look like there's more of them because they're so big. They're huge. And look at this, no fire in this fight yet. The dwarves did capture another village, putting elves down to just barely above 1,000 population, now having half the humans population. Also, at some point, a new human village was constructed here. I'm not sure why that happened, but I mean, we're gonna leave it. I don't know why that happened, but new human kingdom just dropped. Dang, everyone wants this spot over here, probably because of the rock land, but I don't know, it kind of stinks. I wouldn't want this. Did anyone take the cursed village yet? Oh, the dwarves did take it. Yikes. And the humans, they're kind of splitting it. And look at that, it's on fire because it's just struck by lightning forever, I guess. A cursed land. The dwarves are going crazy, man. And the humans are right behind them helping out. Another village for the dwarves, and the elves are down to 600 population. Oh my gosh, they're actually going to go all the way. A lot of times in these big wars, they just randomly declare peace sometime in the middle. It's pretty rare that the war goes on long enough for a kingdom this big to actually be taken over completely. But it looks like they might actually be going for it. The humans are trying to take this one, which I think is their main village. I think this is their first village when I first placed them. Here comes all the fighting. It looks like the orcs must be mostly gone now. The orcs that joined the elves at least, because I'm not seeing torches anymore. So I mean, that might be good. Might be a little easier for everyone to fight. Down to 400. Took the village back. There's definitely some elf troops still in here. But look at this. The human army is here. And they got some silver weapons mixed in there. A couple steel ones. Not seeing anything else. No mithril or adamantine. But they should have that ore now. Oh my gosh. Here they come. This is crazy. They're doing it. They're taking it over. This better not give this village to the dwarves. Sometimes that happens. Okay, cool. The humans actually got it. Humans are gonna get all this land. The dwarves aren't even here at the moment. Dude, nice. That's big. Down to 2 elf villages, looks like. Unless they still have this one. Oh, they do. And random new elf kingdom just dropped 1 person. Not sure how that happened, but I mean, we're gonna allow it. If they wanna live on Rock Island all alone, they sure can. Dang, another village gone. Down to 1 elf village. I'm really surprised by this. Like I was saying, it's pretty rare we see that much population get taken over in one single war. The elves started with 3,500 population and 2 kingdoms that were each about half the size, maybe a little bit bigger than half the size, really just teamed up to take them down. I'm impressed that they were able to do that, really working together, because the elves should have been able to take at least one of those kingdoms down, but they were unable to push back. They were just kind of overwhelmed by the 2 armies happening at once. And you know, most of their armies burned in a fire, so that didn't help, but that was kind of their fault, low-key. And now look at that, technically speaking, the elves are last place and the orcs are in 3rd. They're about to be last place and 3rd once there's only 3 kingdoms left. Although I guess we should start counting these new ones that popped up. It's kind of cool that when a kingdom gets eliminated, they keep making like a new village, so they're still kind of in the video. Like the orcs are gone, but they're still here. And the elves are about to be gone, but look at that. They're still here. There's 3 of them now. Look at that. They're recruiting on Goat Rock Island. In fact, let's name this kingdom Goat Rock. There you go. That's cool. All right, you guys are gonna take it or what? You just gonna think about it? I think you can handle 90 elves. Okay, looks like the humans are finally here, and there they go, taking it over. Nice work, boys. Nice. Okay, the dwarves were stealing a lot of land at the beginning from the humans, but I think the humans ended up getting more territory than the dwarves did, or maybe it's even, I don't know. The humans got all this. Basically, all of the elves' starting territory is now humans, which means they kind of own like this entire kind of diagonal half of the map, as well as this random kind of middle spot over here. And the dwarves are pretty scattered, but they got this nice clump in the corner. And now the dwarves and the humans populations are very close together. They're just both in like the early 2000s. I guess we still have one more elf village over here. The greedy-eyed elves are still in here next to their Goat Rock counterpart. And then, yep, the orcs are up to 300. So we got these small villages in the mix to make things interesting, but for the most part, it's just these 2 big kingdoms that are pretty even now. They're still at war with this small elf village, but they haven't taken it over yet. They know you're here, I think. Look at that, they're mining all this stone. What are you guys gonna do with all that stone, huh? You guys gonna take them over? You're gonna let them rebuild? They could rebuild. I don't know why there's so many goats here. It's actually absurd. Oh my gosh. Wait, what? The elves are at war with the other elves? They want to have all of Goat Rock for themselves? That's so greedy. Oh wait, they're greedy. That's why that happened. That makes so much sense. All right, so greedy-eyed elves now control Rock Goat Island, but they're still at war with everyone, so surely they'll show up eventually and someone else will take over the island, but it's taken a while. We've got a little like a mini cute war happening. The orcs are at war with this random human village. I think that's everyone, right? There's no allies? Okay, good. That would have been funny if the orcs declared war on this small village, but they actually were allied with like the big dwarf kingdom or something, but pretty funny, just like a cute little mini war. Do you guys even have an army? You got like 10 soldiers over here? Are these even soldiers or are these farmers? Can you guys even fight them? Looks like the humans are here trying to fight back against these orcs, and as you'd expect, they're throwing fire on them and burning them alive. Also, somehow fire got lit in the middle of the orc army. They're like throwing it at their own people for some reason. I'm not sure why. They just can't control themselves. They have to throw fire everywhere. Why are you guys doing that? There's no humans this way. Why are you throwing fire backwards? Oh, they're all like angry. Wait, what's their traits again? Is this a psychopath thing? Maybe that's why they did so bad. The psychopath trait, I don't really know exactly what it does, but I assume it makes them like violent. Yeah, they're just attacking each other. Dude, are you guys gonna lose this little mini war to yourselves? Man, population wise, this small little village is staying pretty steady, and this one's lost like 150. Proof that having a pyromaniac and psychopath is a really bad combo, because they're seriously unable to function. They can't make progress, they're just burning themselves. They haven't even like made it to this village yet to fight back. You guys are the ones that declared war on them, remember? So far all you've done is throw torches at yourselves. That's not gonna work. Think about that for 2 seconds. Also, they're getting struck by lightning? Dang, okay, well the orcs are not long for this world, I don't think. I think they're gonna be their own downfall before long. Oh man, looks like the dwarves are finally taking over Goat Rock Island. There we go. Oh my gosh, they were not messing around. They wanted those rocks and they wanted those goats. All right, now take it over. You guys have plenty of people here. What's going on? Why is it still there? Who's stopping you? They're trying to convince the king to join them lest he be destroyed, and I don't know, I think they're not going for it. Why are they still a village? How is this still elf territory? What's going on? There they go. The elves are finally gone. Goat Rock Island goes to the dwarves. I don't don't believe this, man. The orcs are losing this war with this small human village. They had like 350 population when they started this war, and I think this village had like 60 something, and they're just basically sending in like one guy at a time. Don't mind all these other guys. These are the other human village. Where's the one guy? Is it you? It's you. Let's change your guys' color so that we can tell you apart. There you are. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, there's 3 of them. They're sending like a few guys at a time and just making the orcs like burn themselves. It's pretty smart if it's on purpose. I don't know. All right, let's speed this up. Dang, rest in peace, orcs. They actually are gone. Their village was wiped out by like, I don't know, a few humans at a time and their own torches. Okay. I thought they were gonna make me have like a cool clutch or something, but they're gone. And with that, the humans have declared war on the dwarves, which I guess was always gonna happen because the dwarves can't declare war because of the peaceful trait. So the humans go ahead and betray their long-standing allies. They've been allies against the orcs and the elves. But now that those 2 kingdoms are gone, time to fight each other, I guess. I think the humans have the upper hand a little bit. Their population is like 1,000 more, but the dwarves having so much extra health, and I don't know, they've been pretty good at fighting. Like, look how much health some of these guys have. Okay, it's not that crazy. Like, look how much health this guy has. 577? That's crazy. Some of these dwarves are really strong. They're doing pretty well so far. Look how many soldiers they have. It feels like 1,000. This could go either way. I think the humans are probably going to win, but I don't know. I'm hoping that the dwarves put up a good fight, but I don't know. The humans also do have strong and tough. Or what was it? Strong and hard skin? Yeah, that's a pretty tough combo. I mean, they have thief, so they could be the ones to steal this win, you know? I don't know why it just feels like the dwarves are doing better, but their population's going down so much faster. Like every time I zoom in, I see a huge dwarf army, and there's like just like some, okay, that's a huge human army as well. I saw some orcs mixed in. They have orcs on their side still. Dang. Yeah, the dwarves seem like they're doing really well. Again, it looks like they're taking so much land, but their population is diving, dude. Meanwhile, this random human village is just breaking 100 population. I mean, they're not gonna win. They have to go up against the human kingdom, which is over 3,000 population, but they might get second place if they outlive the dwarves, but that's kind of dumb. 2 human villages survive? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, I'm seeing it now. I felt like the dwarves were doing good, but now they're really pushed back to the corner. Like the humans have taken all these villages over. Yep, it's the beginning of the end. Dang, all right. Well, I'm proud of the dwarves for doing as well as they did despite starting so poorly. Like truly, I was a little bit embarrassed by their performance at the beginning. Like I felt like they had all the makings of a good kingdom, but they were in last for so long. They weren't very aggressive in the wars at the beginning. They kind of lost a lot of land to the elves and the humans. Then they stepped it up when they went against the orcs, and they also stepped up in a huge way against the elves. I think they let the humans do kind of a lot of the early work for them, but then they did send in their armies at the end. Although the humans ended up with like all that land anyway, so dang, the dwarves are going. I think kingdom-wise, the orcs were probably the strongest. No, I take that back immediately. They would have been if not for the whole fire thing. They were actually doing pretty well until everyone teamed up on them. Like I think they could have done better if they fought everyone like one at a time. They got pretty unlucky with that. Also, yeah, just the fire was pretty rough. The elves, you know, they had good traits, but they're still the elves. They always kind of trick me because their population's always so good. They always get the numbers so quickly, and I think, oh my gosh, they're so good, but then as soon as they get into war, they just get steamrolled because they're so weak. The dwarves are usually fairly weak, but they got 2 traits that really counteracted their usual weaknesses. Like usually they populate too slow, but they got a trait to help with that, and they're also usually small, and they got a trait to help with that, so that's cool. But alas, it was not enough, and dang, that was quick. Down to 100 population. The humans were vicious. I'm actually surprised that they win because they were kind of bad for a while. I thought that the thief thing was like keeping them. I was worried that the thief problem was gonna like keep them busy at home, that they weren't actually gonna expand. Like their population was kind of slow. Everyone robbing each other constantly. Pretty hard to build a civilization when everyone's constantly stealing everything from everyone. All right, that's it. Dwarves are gone. Humans win, and the humans kind of win twice because the only like random kingdom that popped up that actually survived till the end is another human one. They kind of made the dwarves destroy themselves. That was a pretty cool move. But anyway, yeah, cool. That was fun. I liked having enough time to really let things play out, because I'm sure between part 1 and part 2 combined, it's probably over an hour. Like, this is basically a movie length. So that was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We probably won't do this very often, but we did this a lot in the past where you do multiple parts. Makes it fun to have a little more time to watch everything play out and get to know the kingdoms a little better. But yep, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys next time. Let me know if you have any other ideas, maybe videos that maybe would work good 2-parters, or if you have any cool maps you want me to do something on, send them my way. Okay, thanks. I'll see you around. Bye-bye.